Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a somewhat highly requested video. So it's just talking to you guys through my creative process. So that's all things editing, shooting, and how I sort of like curate my feed so that it sort of fits that like minimal aesthetic that I like to have. So yeah, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It honestly keeps me motivated to do more video content, so if you guys could do that, that would be great. Other than that, enjoy hearing about my secrets, and I hope the video is kind of helpful. So this is my weapon of choice. I don't know if it's focusing, but yeah, pretty much I literally just typed in like Bluetooth like camera clicker or like Bluetooth camera remote, and just like anything that comes up is honestly fine. From memory, this was around like $7 to $8, and then like delivery fee, so it's like really affordable, and it's worth it. It's a great investment for people who are like starting out, or like people that don't have siblings or friends that are good at taking photos pretty much. And then I'm just filming with my tripod at the moment, but I'll show you guys what I use after this. Pretty much, yeah, like all you need to do is just find a location that you think would work well as a backdrop. Like I personally like going for a more like plain-ish kind of vibe, so any sort of like plain wall with like decent lighting is always a good sort of, you know, you can't really go wrong with that. Then I just situate my tripod so that it's a little bit lower, so that it sort of like elongates my body. I'm a very short person, but I look really tall in my photos because I use all of these sorts of tricks. So set your tripod a little bit lower, and then yeah, from there it's just like a matter of just like trial and error. I just literally stand there and click it. And then my phone just takes a photo, so yeah. Hey guys, so I'm going to take you shooting with me today. So I'm at my favorite shooting spot. I'll show you guys my setup in a sec. So this is my setup, and I'm going to be posing on that white wall over there, and I've got my little Bluetooth clicker thing as well, so that I can hook it up to my phone and then just click on it and get the photo from there, so I'm not running back and forth setting timers and stuff. This tripod is just like a random one that my dad had, but you can buy them from Amazon really easily. And yeah, so this is a screen recording of how I actually take the photos. So you can see the clicker in my right hand, and I'm literally just posing and clicking as I go. Sometimes I'll like to sort of do this weird galloping kind of pose thing where I go back and forth on each leg, because it honestly like makes you look 10 feet tall. As you can see, it looks ridiculous while you're doing it, but the photos turn out pretty great. I'm just going through and favoriting the preliminary sort of like favorites, I guess, so that I can refer to them and see whether I've got the shot or not later on. After I've done this, I'll go back to shooting, so that I can just like get more and more options. Another thing a lot of non-content creators or like beginners sort of get really bogged down in is like, oh, like I can't seem to get the right shot, or like it takes a long time to sort of get the shot that I want. And that's honestly the secret behind it. The more options you have, and the more sort of like, I don't know, like the more trials I guess you do with different poses and different backgrounds and stuff, means that you're more likely to get a shot that you're really happy with. And so yeah, take all the time you need. It's always great to shoot when you're sort of in a good mood, where you're not being rushed. And yeah, another location that I love shooting at is a studio. So this is one that I rented with my other content creator friends, and honestly it's just one of the best sort of places to really bank up content if you've got uni or other commitments like work and can't always go outside to shoot, but you still want to keep your social media running. It's always just a really good way to sort of get that sorted. Another option is to shoot with friends, or to shoot with other content creators that you know that are in your niche. Honestly, I literally just become a human tripod for my friends, and this is just some footage of me shooting my friend Zara. Alright, so now I'm going to run through how I edit my photos. So pretty much everything I favorited while shooting, so like all the preliminary favorites that I was making, those are the ones that I import into my Lightroom. And from there I usually just play around with the color saturations. I usually like to turn down blues and purples, and sometimes greens depending on the photo, just because I feel like that gives me a much more uniform sort of vibe. I'll first edit one photo and then I'll sort of copy the edits onto the other photos that are similar. So obviously some photos here have different lighting, so the ones that have similar lighting, I'll copy those edits onto that just so it's more uniform. Then I will go back into the lighter photos, and then from there I will redo those edits and sort of make it so that they're a bit darker so that they match the aesthetic of the other ones. I'm not a believer in presets, but I do have a routine that I sort of do. So usually what I'll do is I'll play around with the colors, desaturate blues, purples, and sometimes pinks. And then I will go back into lighting and sort of fix the exposure so that it's darker, and also play around with the highlights so that it also helps with that whole moody kind of look. Because every photo is different, you have to sort of, I don't know, play around with it first and then apply it to the other photos, which is why I sort of like to think that I'm creating a preset for each sort of shoot, because or like each outfit if it's in the same location, just because I don't know, that just makes sense to me, because since every photo is different, presets can't work the same for every single one. So yeah. Once I've exported all of the photos that I've edited in Lightroom, I go into the iPhone Photos app and then I play around with cropping and perspective. So I hate it when my photos are crooked. So I go into the, I don't know what you call it, I think it's a horizontal perspective, and then you just straighten all the photos like that. And then once those are done, I'll go through and then favorite all the ones from there that I really like. Sometimes photos will look better initially, but then after, when you've filtered them, they don't look as good. So from there I like to sort of figure it out. Other times some photos might look better after they've been filtered, so that also changes my mind a lot. So yeah, this is just me going through and re-favoriting everything else. After that's done, I take all the favorited edited photos and then I put them into a separate album. I usually just do it by date, so it's like shoot and then the day that I've shot them on. And then I go into my preview app, which is a beautiful app that I use to plan my feed. And then I pretty much take the photos that I want to add to my upcoming feed. And then from there, I like to do what I call feed Tetris, which is essentially just playing around with different filler photos in different places. Filler photos being photos that aren't of me. I like to have a grid so that it alternates between my outfit photos and my normal photos. A lot of other girls can pull off that beautiful, like, I don't know, like, it's not effortless, I wouldn't say, like, because there is a lot of effort that actually goes behind it, but the whole feed look where they have like multiple photos of themselves in a row and they make it look good, but I just can't do that. So this is what I do instead, and it honestly works for me. As you can see, there's a lot of other photos that I have banked up, but it honestly, like, those photos obviously just didn't work for the feed at the time when I added them. And yeah, this is the final product. Well, this is sort of like the plan that I'll be following for the next week, hopefully. When I get new content, I obviously rearrange things so that they work better, but this is sort of the plan for now. So I'm gonna leave you guys with some like final tips, I guess. In terms of shooting, I feel like so much of this is confidence. It's literally about like owning it and just doing what you want for you. like I used to get so like anxious when people would walk past me while I was shooting, because I was like, oh my god, they probably think I'm like so self-absorbed, or they probably think like, oh, like she looks so funny, or like she's not even a model, like what is she doing? But honestly, like I've come to just ignore that, and like you're only going to see them once, you're probably never going to see them again. So unless it's someone you know, like don't feel ashamed of it. Gotta do what you gotta do. And the other thing I guess would be just in general with social media and stuff, just like do what inspires you, do what you want to do with your page. Remember that humans are narcissistic by nature, and so they probably, like, no one cares about you more than you do. So just keep that in mind and just go forth. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.